Hey guys, so step 2 of solving radical equations. We're going to follow a lot of the same steps. You can see here our steps look very similar. Our problems are just going to be a little bit more involved. And then when we go to check our answers, some unique things might be happening. So keep your eyes peeled on that. Our steps are still very similar. Isolate the radical, just like we did in part 1. Square both sides, just like we did in part 1. Look at number 3, step 3, set the equation equal to 0 and factor. Number 4, take those factors, set them equal to 0 and solve for x, and then check for our solution. So we're going to end up with some quadratics. We are going to have to factor. So just a little bit more involved, but still following those same steps. Let's look at number 1. Number 1, isolate the radical. On the left side, the radical is already isolated. It is already alone on the left side. So I actually don't have anything to do step 1 on example number 1. So I'm ready for step 2, which is square both sides. So the square on the left side will cancel out the radical and give me 2x plus 21. But look what happened on the right side. I need to square both terms. I need x plus 3 times x plus 3. So, shocker, we're actually going to end up foiling right here. We need to FOIL those binomials together. So we'll have 2x plus 21 on the left equals, let's FOIL. First, the first term gives me x squared. Outer is going to give me a 3x. Inner is going to give me a 3x. Those will add to 6x. And then my last terms will give me 9. If I just FOILed that too quick for you, pause the video, FOIL it out nice and slow, combine your like terms, see if you get the same thing. So we have squared both sides. We did step 2. We're ready for step 3. Set the equation equal to 0. Look at what we've got going on. We've got a quadratic. We've got an x squared, but we've got our terms everywhere. So we need to set it equal to 0. Get everybody together on one side. Since my x squared is on the right side and it's already positive, I'm going to use that. I don't want to move it around and make it negative. Stay with the right side. So since x squared is on the right side, move everybody else over. So we are going to subtract 2x from both sides and subtract 21 from both sides. These will cancel and we'll have 0 on the left equals x squared plus 4x minus 12. So there's my quadratic. And in step 3, it says after we set it equal to 0, factor if necessary. Well, yeah, we've got a quadratic, x squared plus 4x minus 12. We need to factor. I want to find the factors of negative 12. This is just my scratch work off to the side. That would add up to 4. So probably not 1 times 12. Maybe 2 times 6 or 3 times 4. I need them to multiply and make a negative. So my signs are going to be different. I'm going to use negative 2 and positive 6. Let me show your factored form. Factor x minus 2 and x plus 6 is factored. Step 4, set those factors equal to 0 and solve. My first one, I'm going to get a positive 2, and I'm going to get also a negative 6. Those are my 2 answers, maybe, because step 5 says check our solutions. And we're going to have some pretty unique situations on these notes, so definitely check. Let's see. We'll check in blue. My top equation, it's hiding right there at the top. I want to plug in 2. 2 times 2 plus 21. Does that equal 2 plus 3? In my radical, I'm going to have 4 plus 21. That's going to be giving me 25. And the square root of 25 is 5, which does equal 2 plus 3. All right, so this one checked out. Answer. What about negative 6? The square root of 2 times negative 6. plus 21. Does that equal negative 6 plus 3? I'll have negative 12 plus 21. I'll have 9. The square root of 9 is 3. Is that equal to negative 6 plus 3? No. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. That doesn't work. That's not an answer. Cross it out. It's an extraneous solution, so we solved it. We got it. We did all the solving correctly. But when we go back and check our answer, it doesn't work. Always check your work, right? So back in middle school or maybe early high school, they're like, check your work. No, now it's really important. Number 2, we're going to do the same process. Our radical is already isolated on the left side, so we are ready to square. The square is going to cancel my radical. And to square the right side, I'm going to FOIL. 9x plus 54 equals, first gives me x squared, outer gives me a 6x, inner gives me a 6x. Combine those like terms to get 12x, and 6 times 6 is 36. All right, you got your x squared on the right again. So I'm going to move everybody over to the right side. I'm going to subtract 9x from both sides, and I'm going to subtract 54 from both sides. Left side will cancel and we'll have 0 equals x squared plus 3x minus 18. All right, so we've set it equal to 0. Factor, if necessary, is necessary. Find the factors of negative 18 that add up to 3. Probably not 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Let's use 3 and 6. A negative 3 and a positive 6. X minus 3, x plus 6. All right, take each of those and set them equal to 0. And solve. I'm going to get a positive 3 and negative 6. So great solutions, maybe. Got to check. You have to check your answers. I'm looking at the very top. I'm going to plug 3 in for x and check. 9 times 3 plus 54. That's all in a radical. Does it equal 3 plus 6? 9 times 3, 27 plus 54. That's going to give me 81. Square root of 81 is a 9, and 9 is equal to 3 plus 6. So that answer checks. Let's try the other one. Square root of 9 times negative 6 plus 54. Is that equal to negative 6 plus 6? Let's see. 9 times 6 is negative 54 plus 54 is 0. The square root of 0 is 0. And negative 6 plus 6 is 0. So, okay, that one checked out too. Both answers worked. Awesome. So far, example 1, we solved and got 2 answers. One worked, one didn't. If it doesn't work, you toss it out. You completely throw it away. Second one, we solved and we got 2 solutions. We checked them and they both worked. Number 3, the radical is already isolated on the left side of the equal sign. So we're ready to square both sides. Squaring it gets rid of my radical, and I've got 21 minus 4x equals, you have to FOIL on this right side. 21 minus 4x equals, first terms give me x squared. Outer gives me negative 6x. Inner gives me negative 6x. So we'll have negative 12x plus 36. If I'm FOILing too fast for you, pause it, okay? I've got x squared again, positive on the right side. So let's move everybody to the right side. Subtract 21 from both sides and add 4x to both sides. Left side cancels, gives us 0 equals x squared minus 8x plus 15. All right, factor. So let's think about the factors of 15. That would add up to a -8. 3 and 5, if they're both negative, they will multiply to a positive 15, and they would add to a -8. So let's use that. X minus 3, x minus 5. Set each of those equal to 0 and solve. If I add 3, I get positive 3, add 5, positive 5, and check our answers. Square root of 21 minus 4 times 3, is that equal to 3 minus 6? 21 minus 12. Is it equal to -3? Oh, I'm not sure about this. So square root of a 9, is that going to be equal to a -3? No, no way. That's not going to work. Toss that one out. Let's try the second one. The square root of 21 minus 4 times 5, is that equal to 5 minus 6? I don't think this one's going to work either, because 21 minus 20, is that going to equal a -1? Well, the square root's not going to equal a negative. 1 is not equal to -1. Throw that one out too. So what you do, if you solved and you got 2 answers and both of them are extraneous, neither one of them work, the formal answer is no solution. If you're on a benchmark, if you're on EOC, no solution. For Delta Math, you're going to leave it blank. I know that sounds crazy, but you're going to leave the answer box blank and submit it. And that's going to be how you indicate a no solution on your Delta Math homework, okay? All right, recap. We had number 1, we solved and we got 2 answers. 1 didn't work. Number 2, we solved and we got 2 answers and they both worked. Number 3, we solved, we got 2 answers and neither one of them worked. No solution. Look at number 4. You're probably like, oh my goodness. Number 4 definitely has a different format, right? But think about the rational exponents that we talked about before. This 1/2, the denominator is my index. Okay, so this is a square root of x plus 6 minus square root of 2x minus 4. Okie doke. So we're just dealing with 2 square roots are being subtracted. Let's isolate our radical. So I'm going to put one of the radicals on the other side. Let me add 2x minus 4, the radical of 2x minus 4 to the other side. Put 1 on each side. So our new problem is going to be square root of x plus 6 equals the square root of 2x minus 4. So what I've done so far, I took the fraction exponents, rewrote them as radicals. They were just square roots. And instead of subtracting 2 radicals equal to 0, I've put 1 radical on each side. Now, you got radicals on both sides, square both sides. I know this problem looked super scary, but it's about to get super simple. When I square both sides, I get x plus 6 equals 2x minus 4, and you now have an equation with variables on both sides. I'm going to move my smaller one. Some of y'all might choose to subtract 2x. I want to keep things positive, so I subtract the 1x, which will give me 6 equals x minus 4, because 2x minus x is 1x. And then let's add 4 so that we get 10 equals x. So one answer, let's check it. Let's check and make sure. So if I had 10 plus 6 to the 1/2 minus 2 times 10 minus 4 to the 1/2. Does that equal 0? Well, this is 16 to the 1/2. And this was 20 minus 4 is 16 to the 1/2. So whether you want to simplify any further or you're looking at it as same thing minus same thing is going to be 0. This is going to work. 4 minus 4 equals 0. Okay, so it does check out. One answer, just showing you another format, pulling in what we've learned about rational exponents. The 1/2 is a square root. If you run into a problem like this, put a radical on each side. And that way you can square both sides and get a nice, happy equation that is easy to solve. So very similar steps to part 1. We did have to FOIL. We did get quadratics that we had to factor, and then definitely check your answers. That's going to be a big piece. When we get ready for our quiz, guys, check your answers. You've got to. There's going to be answers you're going to be throwing out, and you're going to have no solutions. I guarantee it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you later.